Welcome back, everybody. Another edition of Mobile Service Monday. I am here, as always, with my co-host, Jeremy Stevens, Remote Operations Director at Bozard Ford Lincoln. And we have a couple of special guests today. We have Corey and Jake from McCluskey Chevrolet. And welcome, guys, to the show, first off. And I hear you had a little tour of the small place called Bozard Ford Lincoln last week.
Yeah, went down to visit with Jeremy and Ed and their team to see how they're kind of flowing their operation, the procedures they have in place for the number of vehicles they're currently running. Is pretty impressive. Being definitely the largest Ford dealership in the country. And that's kind of the benchmark, kind of where you want to go and where you want to be at in mobile. I believe if you're running out of an auto dealership.
Yeah, absolutely. We learned a few weeks ago on the show that Jeremy down there has more mobile vans running than the entire country of Canada.
And I will say, the McCluskey group, with Jake and Corey there, I always tell people it's like if you want to see it in action, you got to be there early. And I believe they were the first group that took me up on that offer to see it up early, because especially when you're traveling out of town, it's really tough to drag yourself out of bed, early in the morning and see it in action about right there at 7 o'clock in the morning. But it was good. It was good. They're great people at y'all's group, and I enjoyed my time with y'all.
Appreciate that. We were so close to the hotel. I think we ended up walking, Jake, like 3/4 of a mile to come over and see it rather than mess with the car that early. And what was pretty impressive, seeing your whole crew, jamming, loading parts, at 6:45.
Yeah. And so you guys were there obviously for a reason, right? And it's mobile service, which is also the reason that you're here with us today. So talk to us a little bit about what your operation looks like and what you're trying to achieve with it. What's your goals for 2026?
Yeah, so we got right now, we have 8 mobile units. We're working on upfitting our 9th right now. But we really wanted to go visit Bozard Ford and meet Jeremy, because they are the Goliath in the mobile service world. And Jeremy and the Bozard team, Ed Roberts, we did not expect this. They rolled out the red carpet for us the whole day with them, in between meetings that they had, spent the whole day with us. And it was nice seeing an operation of that size, because we went down there expecting to see not chaos, but just a lot of people running around, here, go to this. It was a smooth operation. Everyone had a defined role. They knew what they needed to do. And then it passed off to the next person who had their defined role, what needed to be done. So, it was a well-ran ecosystem of mobile service, seeing how parts work. And to see, too, and like Ed Roberts said, we're just getting started. So that mentality, it's not like we went down there and like, hey, yep, nope, we got it figured out, and this is what you need to do. They're constantly evolving and figuring it out on the fly, which is the beautiful thing of mobile service. It's not been around for 110 years like a traditional shop. It's this new way of business, and it's exciting. We love it.
Hey, Dave, one thing that I will say, when I seen them walk up, because I seen them in the background, I was like, where are they at? And it's like I see their whole crew walking. And but what, especially with you, Jake, is sometimes seeing is believing. And when you say you have 46 vans, and sometimes I don't believe it, but when you start seeing it in reality, it's like, it is possible. It's not, and hopefully when you saw it, all it is doing the little things good, basically. And we're not perfect at all. We're reviewing our process this morning because we discovered one of them was broke. and I was like, how the heck did this happen? I was like, where did that even come from? But it's that constantly evolving. And I could see y'all's facial expression when you saw it. And I was telling Dave, I was like, this is going to be a driving force, because when you see it in action and see the 46 vans, some of them probably passed y'all on your way out.
Oh, yeah.
Once you see it and you see, it's like, it really boils down to people and process, really. And then everything else flows.
And what was the other amazing thing was what we saw. So we went down there to see mobile service. But then another big takeaway is what mobile service did for in the shop. Our shop right now, kind of the same reason you guys got interested into mobile service, got into it about 10 years ago, was it was 6 weeks to get in the shop. We're not 6 weeks, we're about 4-ish weeks, but still way too long to get someone into the shop. So that's really why we have dived into the mobile service, is to free up the shop from this waiter 7/10 oil change rotate chaos from open to close. And you never have time to pull in that drop off, and you're getting blown up calls. Hey, why haven't you looked at my car yet? And it's just you're just trying to get the waiters taken care of. So walking through the shop, I mean, people were fixing vehicles versus the waiters and just the rat race of that. So seeing the shop actually doing repairs and same day, that was a big takeaway as well.
Yeah, and when you see the size of the operation down there and how spread out it is, it also has lent itself to better processes within advisor and technician and parts communication, because it's just not feasible to have advisors walking out to the shop to ask for statuses and things, right? So that's one thing that strikes me every time I'm there, is there is this level of calmness that I think us in fixed ops have not come to expect to feel in the shop. Like, calm feels not busy and not making money, right? But it is not that way there. And it's the same way with Jeremy's fleet of trucks. There is not that they're busy, yes, but there is not that panic mode going on every moment of the day.
Yep, sure. That was the one thing that I like to see, because I'm fairly new to the auto dealership world. My whole background is heavy truck and trailer. I've been running and involved in mobile service for about 12 to 13 years now, managing it on the large scale on the Class 8 side. So that's actually one of the reasons that, Mr. McCluskey brought me into the company, was to help shape mobile moving forward and with our fleet shop and stuff. So I've got several different hats. I mean, Jeremy's got sales folks hitting the field, so I'm helping with that, helping Jake with the shop, plus bringing in techs as we need to, and kind of putting my input on the upfit of the vehicle, because my background's a lot like Jeremy. I'm an ex-tech that happened to work a full-time job and run my own mobile truck, so I knew there was always something there because it worked out well for me, and the fact that we kind of have a kind of an open book. It's, hey, what do we need to do to make this thing, outline, process out, stream, and seeing another dealership, because of, my lack of dealership experience, whether it's Chevy, Ford, or whoever, to see how they're, the way their people are in the background, how everybody has that dedicated role, kind of how Jeremy has his org chart down through his folks, and everybody's really wrapping their hands around what is their job, and that frees him up to, keep looking forward in the business instead of digging down every day and dealing with the disgruntled customer about something. He's got people to handle that, people to handle the scheduling and have trust in his techs, so that, obviously leaves him that extra piece to say, okay, like that one process you just talked about, hey, got something broken, we got to get it fixed here. But if you were buried down in work orders and running invoicing and, hands-on managing the techs every day, you may have missed that. That's huge.
Yeah, and that's something that happens in a typical shop all the time too, right? Yep. Is the manager, the director gets bogged down in all that other stuff and doesn't have time for that higher level view of the organization and things that are going on and things that they could be doing 3, 6, 12 months down the road to help the organization. And instead it just becomes a one day at a time running store, which doesn't help our industry grow.
No, it don't. And some of the processes that you got to look at are the ones you don't, it's the ones you don't want to tackle, or the ones that always lingers around. And it's like, gosh, I don't want to open Pandora's box on this one, but you have to, as a leader of your company, you have to go down that aisle and get all the people. And we have a meeting once a week with our mobile team, and we have a representative from parts there too. And I spent some time with parts this morning, and I saw it in action. I was like, oh crap, if this doesn't do right, then it's going to create extra work for the service advisors and the parts advisors. And if you add that up, it was like a 4-minute thing. And you may not think 4 minutes is a big deal, but then when you add it up to the number of ROs that you go into, it's like, they could do a lot more tasks if we just fix this one little piece of it. And that's what we kind of discovered. And as you build mobile, your processes are going to evolve weekly just because you don't know what you don't know. But you got to have those people that are willing to raise the flag up and say, hey, there's a problem here, and wave it.
Technology too. Like one of the takeaways, we experience it too. And talking to Jason in parts, one of the kind of issues is who took a part or who returned it. Because if they don't send in a message on Teams or on Spiffy, you don't know who took the part if they returned it. So one thing we're looking into right now, I'll let you know how it goes, Jeremy, if it works. But we're looking into smart lockers that will integrate with our DMS. So that way parts could bill out the 6 quarts of oil, the 63 oil filter, wiper blades, cabin air filter, whatever it is for that job. And they just put it into the locker, and it's not designated to any technician or whatever. It's just like those lockers at apartments that just kicks open whatever one's available, fill it with the stuff, close it, attach it to the repair order. That way, like you said, if someone calls in sick, you got to make sure you take those parts off that person. Yeah. So what we're going to do is just assign it to the repair order, and then the day of through the DMS, it'll get dispatched to the advisor or the technician that we know for sure will be there. And then that way, when the tech goes up to the spark locker, they'll put in tech 4432, and it'll kick open locker 1, 7, 12, 13, or just 2 of them, whatever it is. And then it's got the repair order, the oil, the filter. And then that way we can see that tech 4432 did receive all this stuff. And then if one of the appointments is an oil change, and a warranty parts could notify that there is a warranty return part on there. So that task would stay open until that technician put that alternator back in that locker and click that it is returned. Then parts will see that it was returned, what technician and what time. So when you guys were talking about that, actually I pulled up to a gas station. I saw the Amazon smart lockers. I'm like, I mean, that would be awesome in the parts department. So we got a couple companies coming out. Fastenal, they don't really do lockers. They do shop supplies. I'm sure you've heard of Fastenal.
Yeah.
They have a smart inventory tracking vending machine system, but they do have lockers that are bigger that you could put like a Snap-on scanner and MDI. So we're going to get with them and see if we could tweak it to use it for parts. But just like that, I mean, like you said, it's always evolving. Technology's coming out. But groups like this, like you guys start this mobile mastermind, it's awesome because we get to share best practices. If this locker system works, great. We roll that out to all the other mobile operations. And it's a fun community where everyone's excited to kind of help each other. Whereas if you guys were hooking and jamming and you were just a Ford store with traditional shop where the customer comes to you, we never would have came down to visit you. I mean, we wouldn't be on this podcast talking right now. So this mobile, it's new, it's exciting. Automotive's definitely behind the ball on it. You guys have been doing it for a while, but I mean, banking's done on the phone, groceries are ordered on your phone. I mean, everything's done on your phone. So yeah, we're definitely getting caught up, and it's exciting because our customers are loving it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to hear. And I like that idea about the lockers because not only parts, when you're mobile, there's always that special tool and you don't have the luxury of having a cabinet in the shop. So it's always floating around, and I do like that to track it. It's like who had it last, always in the locker.
Yeah.
That I like that piece of it because that's when our chat blows up. Who has this scan tool? Who has this?
Scan the locker. It's always in locker 12. Looks like Tech 4432 took it out March 12th at 4 p.m. You can see. Oh yeah, no, I do have it. My bad. It's in my glove box.
Yeah.
There it is. But
Increased accountability always helps.
That's right.
Oh, that scanner. Yeah, I have that scanner.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Well, and even if that in your example where the tech is not there that day and you're missing that scan tool, now you have a place to start. Right now, you can go to his van and look there first, right? Rather than trying to look on every technician's bench and everywhere else for the tools that you're looking for. Yeah. You mentioned Spiffy, so we need to thank our sponsor. Spiffy. They're the category-defining mobile service operating system for dealers. Spiffy equips dealers with software, van upfits, training, and proven launch blueprints to rapidly scale mobile repair orders, revenue, and profits. It's built by operators for operators. Spiffy was designed from the ground up to solve real-world challenges of mobile service, from limited base space to operational complexity. And you can find more at getspiffy.com.
I do like the parts thing because the parts have always been challenging on mobile service. and ours have evolved probably 3 or 4 different times. And Jason came up with this system in our parts, and it works perfectly now, but it still has its glitches and stuff. And then you got some parts on the van and inventory and stuff. So the part stuff is we haven't got it 100% figured out, but just like you said, in our mastermind groups or Mobile Service Monday, where the best practices and best idea comes out, because I didn't even think about that scenario, those, because now, sales has the key tracker and stuff like that. And it's
Right,
like, you
yep.
know what, that is a good point. I do like stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, keys are missing. You go to the track box and you can put your box up to it and see, all right, Jake M took the keys out at whatever date, and they can just shoot him a text. Whereas before it was like all wide company email. Who's got these keys? No one ever replies. So yeah,
Yeah, that's a cool system, and that the Amazon lockers, as soon as you started talking about it, was what I pictured in my head, and it makes it's these kind of innovations that once you see them, you go, of course, that's
Yeah.
perfect. Why didn't we think of this 10 years ago?
See,
Right?
I'm thinking more of a Bozart parts drop box at different convenience stores, so I don't have to travel all the way to different areas. I can drop them off and have a drop off point for the guys to just save some time and fuel.
I asked the rep that too. The lock boxes on site here would obviously be parts already picked it the night before. But yeah, I even asked the rep about that as well. She said, yep, you can definitely reach out to companies about just renting a spot on their property to put a 10, 12, 20 system. And then that would be more, this drawer has 50 quarts of 5W30. This drawer has 50 quarts of OW20, 64 oil filters, 66 is wiper blades. And then that way it'd be a tracking system, a tech out in the field, oil change called in. Instead of coming all the way back to the shop, they just swing by there, pick up their 5 quarts, their filter, and wiper blades.
When
And then parts takes that off.
when we were doing large truck service out of the mobile group that I worked for before, we would actually go to a storage facility that that was gated. They have had passcode to get in and a locked
Yep.
storage unit, and we would stock, our general, brakes, drums, oil, our most common filters, brake chambers, air valves, general repair stuff, that you would be using on a truck or a semi trailer. That way it was just accessible. That way if they got, if you're state like down your way, oh, hey, guess what? We're based out of Lakeland, but we end up doing a bunch of service calls in Tampa. So you're not tracking that down 4 in that nightmare traffic that you can get there and get what you need and go.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jeremy, for your Ninja drivers, I mean, now they could have a place to go rather than having to come back all the way to the store to grab the stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing we were playing around. We have what I call them Ninja drivers, because I think it's pretty cool, but everybody else calls them like a flex driver. They're just kind of a person that's not on the schedule, but they're always working. So that's why I call it a Ninja. They take out appointments, but they're never scheduled. So they're the backup of if somebody's running late or if an emergency. So it's kind of a flexible driver.
I like that.
And Dave and I were talking, I think it was you and I talking about it. It's like, we need to double the inventory on that truck, or just, almost like a Snap-on tool truck with filters and stuff like that, but it still can work, but still has like a floating parts department out there too.
Yeah. We're building something kind of like that right now. We should be picking it up middle to the end of next week, but it's a 2015 GMC Savannah Cutaway that we bought with the high roof, 11-foot long Redding service body on it. And the exact same thing we were thinking. It'll be stocked with wiper blades, special tools that they might need, scanners, batteries, oils, filters. And then, it was just going to be kind of a roving parts department that if someone was at an appointment and they didn't bill enough oil or a filter was messed up, it could meet them there. We were also going to send that anytime we have 5, 6, 7, 20 plus appointments. That would always just be on the lot to help, but also be that, hey, this is the wrong wiper blade or this is the wrong filter. We can easily just pull off of that inventory.
Yeah, that's great.
Now with that, Jake, so what are y'all's plans for the next coming year? Because I feel like you're going to scale this thing up pretty fast and big, especially with Corey's experience and stuff that he brings to the table.
So what we're thinking, scaling of the vehicle wise, and these are just ballpark numbers. We're going to go to a tier system. We're working on thinking about curating a tier system. So what we want to do a tier 1, 2, and 3. So your 1's going to be your maintenance. That's going to be your get you on the lot. That's the repeat business. That's the convenient stuff: oil change, rotates, inspections, recalls. They notice a check engine light's on. They'll escalate that to the tier 2. Your tier 2 tech will be your light repair, light diag. And then they'll have a tier 3, which would be like your shop foreman, team lead type person. We're actually building a truck right now. It's just a standard cab. We got decked sliding systems in the top, but that's going to have $30,000 in scanners, evap. I mean, anything. We built this list and got with our Snap-on reps, GM special tooling. That will have everything we need, scanner and diag wise, which will help cost because we're not having to put all this stuff on every vehicle. We'll have the top specialized diagnostic vehicles. So about 3 of those, 9 tier 2 diag tech or repair techs, and then about 15 of the maintenance techs. And the reason we want to do that is because at first we were kind of dispatching whoever was closest, and that was not the right thing to do. With this tier system, we'll be able to dispatch who's appropriate. So that way, and then they get paid to escalate it to the next technician. So that way they don't get stuck on a job and we upset the customer, and it keeps everything flowing. We don't get stuck on a diag appointment and he's got to get to his next oil change, but he's still trying to diagnose it. It's, hey, I'm done with my oil change, rotate, inspection, does have a check engine light and this and this. So I'll escalate to the tier 2 tech, who will then have the parts because they're at the shop. So they'll get the brakes and tires, whatever was sold on the inspection, plus their scanners. If they can diagnose it, great. If not, they'll get paid to escalate to the tier 3 tech. So everyone just kind of keeps moving around and they're all helping each other. So that is what we're envisioning is a tiered system. And about 27 units is what we're shooting for.
Awesome.
So one of the things that, we might hit on, Jeremy, is what we're doing. It's a little different than what you were doing. Because you told me you're 75% retail roughly, and then 25% over on the fleet side. So we are exactly opposite of that. So we're probably 75, 80% fleet currently. We're really going to take a stand on pushing our retail over the next probably 60 days with our scheduling department, with a few things we're going to do with our sales department. Obviously, we're doing some retail right now, but I think we're missing a little bit on that right now.
Yeah.
But that's probably because my background says, hey, get the fleet customer because it's repetitive business. The average people have 2.5 cars, all this stuff, but a commercial customer, the retail is a couple services a year. Take the same pickup truck and put it in a fleet. It's 6 services a year and probably a brake job or 2 a year, plus whatever else they might need. It's just going to be a more volume out of that one vehicle. It really is, on the commercial side, it's volume based. Obviously it's a premium service, but getting your average fleet company that has 40, 50 units to understand that takes a little bit. So like I was speaking with you about, there's a return on that investment for them. And if I can get to the right folks and with the fleet side, they believe in it once we start showing them, and that's the part that I really like. But I would like to see our retail side grow so that we're, kind of like you guys. We've got more guys in the field doing more repairs. And even, we talked about, hey, should we add an AC machine for summertime here so we can make sure we can do some of those on location stuff? And Jake's been looking into that. I think that'll be a nice add-on for us as well, which is what vehicle you to put it in. That's probably one of your tier 2 guys that Jake's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do your basic, compressor swap, dryer swap, replace a line type thing, Yeah. But that's what I'm excited about, seeing the retail take off. And, and we've got some goals we'd like to have set for the end of the year. Will we get there? I don't know. We will increase that I can promise you. But I don't know if we'll hit our goals or not. I'd love to tell you we'll have 20 by January 1st. And if we can do that, I think that's a really, really good year for us, because it'd be basically
11.
It'd be a year and a half or by January 1 rolling, and it's starting to move.
That's perfect, because that's one thing I love about mobile is it doesn't matter what you're chasing, just chase something. Our side was different. Like Jake, you said, we were like 6-7 weeks behind, and that's what we needed to fix on that part of it. And now this year we're focusing on what you've already accomplished, is the fleet side of it, because we want to, I want to increase mine kind of 50-50 on our side of it. So I love that your thought process on that is the fleet. In the perfect world, that's what you go after first, because just like all the comments you said, and I hope everybody take notes of all that what you said on the, the more times you see those fleet customers and the bigger the repair order is, it's almost like a fixed, you want fixed absorption in your fixed department. Well, fleet is your fixed absorption in mobile service. It's kind of steady, it's consistent. And then the retail is the, kind of the gravy on top. And that's some customer experience and people buying cars. It's like they are going to buy from you once you do mobile service on the retail side.
Yep.
And we've seen that on the fleet side as well. We've been able to help a couple companies, and they would reach out and say, hey, my fleet management company can't get me a vehicle. I need this right now. Can you help me? Sure. I'll hook them up with our commercial fleet guys, and they take good care of it. We haven't sold very many for them. I think 4 vehicles or so just in the last few months that we've, and that's not much, but if those 4 vehicles with one company and they bought one, they like what they get on the service, they like what they got from sales, that could turn into 10, 50, 100. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the fleet, Dave, I didn't tell you this story, but just this week, fleet people are looking for people to service their vehicles. So 3 times this week, our team just stumbled across the places like we were literally just talking that we need to find someone to come do our service work. And it's like 3 times this week. And I was like, that is pretty freaking awesome. I was like, so mobile service definitely feels a pain point in our fleet and a lot of our retail customers.
Yeah. And the upside that you were just mentioning of getting vehicles now being purchased from the store, right? As people are evaluating the cost of starting mobile service, that's stuff that doesn't show up anywhere, right? It doesn't show up on your financials because 4 people bought fleet vehicles, or maybe more. Maybe you rolled in to someone that only has a couple of Chevys and the rest are Fords, and you convert them all over the next couple of years to a Chevy fleet. Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of upside business that doesn't show up on your mobile balance sheet.
I mean, in almost a year, we've already signed on 34 companies because of mobile. We never would have signed them on. They're all in the shop too, stuff that we can't do mobile. But because we were able to get on their lot due to mobile, they are now a fleet mobile service customer. So yes, a handful of vehicles we've sold, but I've a way better chance of selling them their next fleet once it becomes due. The next time a unit's up, and we've been servicing them every month for the last year. Let's just go with McCluskey. They got a fleet sales, service, body shop. So, a hell of a lot better chance than if we were just never servicing them.
We've turned on a lot of warranty work thanks to mobile with some of our bigger fleets, because, I started the conversation with the customer of, hey, see, you got a lot of Chevys. How are you handling your recall and your warranty work? And most of those guys with big fleets like, well, I've got 100 recalls that need to be done. And I don't know how to do it. So if you can go out and do them mobily, and they see that you're making that effort to work with them and their management team, it's a huge win for you. And that customer's led to numerous engine and transmission and warranty repairs in the shop. We just did, I think it was an engine and a transmission for that same company last week, which is great for our fleet shop because it just pours those hours right into the facility. And that's what we want to do. Because as mobile comes up, we know that in this fleet shop, the number of those technicians has got to step up and keep up with it. Otherwise, we get into mobile's jammed all this work in the shop, and now the fleet shop's 4 weeks out to get into. So we've already been talking about, and we've just started running new ads for techs across the board.
That's awesome.
That is great. I love those stories. Guys, we are coming up on 30 minutes here. So, Jeremy, any final thoughts for us here?
Man, there was a lot of gold nuggets in the conversation from Jake and Corey, and it's like I love your energy, and we connected right away. We met. Michelle and I had dinner. And it's like I love getting with groups. It's like like-minded people, and it was an instant connection, an instant friendship, and I'm just looking forward to see how fast and how big this is going to grow for y'all, because y'all are going to. I can see, because I know Jake did say, and I put him on the spot on our phone call, he wanted to be the #1 GM mobile store in the country. And Corey's shaking his head, so I believe it.
Jeremy, I'm going to tell you what I said to one of the folks from GM who's overseeing mobile in the country. I told her, because this is what I keep hearing. Well, Bozarth Ford's the largest mobile dealership in the country. I said, yep. I said, and give me 3 years, and it's going to be McCluskey Chevrolet's largest dealer in the country. You know, I'm chasing you, brother. We want to chase you. We want to catch you. Yeah, for sure.
I love it. No, I love it, because what happens is the more people that get into mobile service, technology gets better. A lot of our hiccups, it brings so many other people to the table, and and solving a lot of pain points that we have with it. But I'm excited. I did a challenge with Nolan. You know, Nolan's a big Ford dealership that he's a big volume guy. So I threw a challenge at him that I'm still going to beat him, but now he's the silent ninja. He's going to come behind me and just smoke me. So I have to introduce y'all to his group too. So he's a big player too in mobile service. But I love it.
This is the new mobile service fight club we got going here. I like it.
No, we like to have fun. We do the same. I think your personality with your people helps develop leaders and develop hard workers. So, you know, I'm one of them. I want to work as hard as I can, but I want my guys to have a good time. I want to be able to laugh with them, you know, at the end of a hard day where they've just had the hell kicked out of. Because you know, like it is, you get in some of them jobs and they just beat a guy to death. And when he hits the shop at the end of the day, looks like a whoop dog. You know, that's the guy you got to engage with, make sure he feels good about his day, and you'll have a laugh with him. Send him home happy to the wife and kids if you can.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's awesome. But yeah, so everybody look out. This group is going to be a big player going mobile service this year. So I'm excited to see it.
We appreciate it.
Supposedly, we just got to maintain it, but supposedly we are the #1 GM dealer. They're going to release stats on that. But yeah, I guess, I mean, a handful of dealers have 2 or 3. So with us at 9, soon to be 10 vehicles, we're definitely #1 in mobile service. So we just got to maintain that and then take down Bozard Ford here in a couple of years. We should do something like an annual competition. The loser has to wear like a Chevrolet shirt for the day or a Ford shirt for the day, depending on who wins.
There you go.
I like that stuff. I'll be down with that. We'll have to get back together.
I have one more question. I was curious, and I meant to ask it. I mean, because you've kind of expanded around the dealership. At the end of the day, what do you think that's the far outreaching footprint you're willing to put out from your dealership, Jeremy? I mean, are you thinking, oh, I want to always stay within 2 hours of my main facility, or have you given any thought to what to be able to replicate throughout?
Not yet, because there's so many opportunities where we're at now. Yeah. So I did expand way out, and then I brought it back in because I was like passing places that I should be going to. So right now we're focusing on, you know, the area that's around us now, but our market share is, I mean, we have people that buy cars from us all over Florida and stuff, and those are the customers that's wanting us to go back. So we're kind of connecting the dots. So if I had to go out this far, let me go down that highway to see what kind of fleet businesses I have in between it to make that whole route worthwhile, basically.
And that's kind of what I'm doing. You know, if I can establish, you know, get that 2 or 3 fleet customers established in an area, you know, backfill with your guys, and if you can place that tech at that point, then keep growing from there. That's kind of how I've been thinking about it as well. Yeah.
Nice. That's perfect.
Like it. Right, guys. Jake and Corey, thanks so much for joining us. And
thank you. We appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. And everybody else out there watching every Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, come and join us. Have some fun. And soon we'll have the mobile service fight club that you can come and watch on pay-per-view.
Have a good weekend,
everybody.
Thank you.